Hi, I'm Melissa with Mixin' Some Magic. I'm a Disney planning expert and I'm here to mix a little magic into your day. Each week I share Disney vacation planning tips, park strategies, and a little bit of Disney history sprinkled in. Of course, I like to include lots of Disney magic. Join me, let's mix in some magic. Hello and welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I am Melissa with Mixin' Some Magic, and believe it or not, Halloween time kicks off at the Disneyland Resort on August 23rd. It's so early this year, but Halloween is probably the most popular time of year at Disneyland. I would say the holidays are a close second, but with Halloween time being so popular, Disneyland is starting it earlier this year so that more people have the chance to experience it. So ready or not, here we go. It is Halloween time at Disneyland. Today, I want to talk about 10 of my very favorite things to do at the Disneyland Resort during Halloween time. So if you're visiting during Halloween, make sure you hit these 10 things. Before we get going, I want to tell you about my Disneyland Resort Halloween time mini course that just dropped. I have done a course like this in years past and it's always been really popular, so it is back this year by popular demand, and it covers everything you need to know about Halloween time at Disneyland. So I don't want you to waste your time searching through websites and social media posts and YouTube videos for information on Halloween time at Disneyland. It's just so time consuming, and if you're visiting Disneyland and you want to have the very best Halloween experience and you don't know certain things that are happening, how are you supposed to search for them and find out? Like, you don't know what you don't know. So that's the reason I made this course, to save you time. So the mini course tells you everything you need to know to rock your Disneyland vacation like a pro. So let me tell you some of the things that are included in this so that you know what to expect. I cover general info on the Disneyland Resort during Halloween time, weather at Disneyland, crowd levels and how to avoid the crowds during Halloween time, Halloween decorations in Disneyland and California Adventure Park, attractions with Halloween overlays and how to use the Haunted Mansion virtual queue, Halloween time entertainment offerings, where to find Disney characters at Halloween time, Disneyland Halloween foodie guide, Halloween character dining options, costume guidelines because you can dress up but there are rules. I get into all of that. Halloween merchandise, all about the Happiest Haunts tour, tons and tons of Oogie Boogie Bash party information with tips and a suggested schedule. And I also cover what to do if Oogie Boogie Bash happens to fall on a day that you're visiting but you're not going to the party, what I suggest for you in that situation. Tons of tips to maximize your time in the parks, common problems that I see all the time and how to avoid them, insider secrets and hidden gems, plus 5 bonus printables, including a Halloween packing list, vacation countdown foodie guide, and more. This course contains about 90 minutes of video instruction, but I've broken it up into sections so that you can pick and choose what you want to watch. So if you're not going to Oogie Boogie Bash at all, then you can just skip that section. But if you are going, you're going to want to watch that section because it's going to be super helpful for you. So there you go, all about my Disneyland mini course. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can check it all out. The Halloween mini course is $9.99 and it is well worth your money because you're going to save so much time and gain so much valuable information that is going to help you immensely on your Disneyland Halloween time vacation. If you are a Patreon member, thank you. You are the best. Not only are you getting ad-free episodes and weekly podcast episodes, but you're also getting this course for free. I have put it all on Patreon over there, so make sure you check that out. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, there's information in the show descriptions. You can check that out as well. If you are interested in visiting Disneyland during Halloween time, there is still time to book your vacation. You can still find great deals on hotels. You can still right now get the amazing Disneyland ticket sale that is happening. It's going through the end of September, but I believe you have to book by September 12th to get those ticket sale deals. So there's still time to book your Disneyland vacation. I just talked a friend into going over Labor Day weekend, and she found an awesome deal on a hotel. She got the Disneyland ticket sale, and I mean, she booked just like less than 2 weeks before her trip. It was a spur of the moment vacation, and she still found awesome deals, and she's going to have a great time. So there's still deals to be had. Don't stress about that. If you want to visit Disneyland during Halloween time, do it. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to give a shout out to our amazing sponsor, Audible. I am now an Audible affiliate, and I am so excited about it. I've been using Audible for years, and I am really happy to have this chance to team up with a brand that I have loved and used for quite some time. If you love the magic of storytelling, but find it hard to make time for reading, Audible is your perfect solution. With Audible, you can listen to a huge selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and more, all from the convenience of your favorite device. Whether you're into thrilling mysteries, self-help, or epic fantasy, Audible has something for everyone because they have thousands of titles available. As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases. But that's not all. Members also get full access to a growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts. You can download or stream included titles all you want. Most of our Disney Book Club selections are available on Audible, including this month's title. And here's the best part. I've teamed up with Audible to offer you an exclusive deal. By using my special link, you can get a free 30-day trial of Audible. That's right, 30 days of stories, knowledge, and entertainment absolutely free. If you love podcasts, and you must because you're here, I know you'll love Audible. Just visit www.audibletrial.com/mixinsomeMagic to start your free trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/mixinsomeMagic. I'll also include a link for you in the show notes. It's a fantastic way to discover the joy of audiobooks and to support my podcast at the same time. Happy listening, and thanks to Audible for making today's episode possible. All right, these things are in no particular order, but here's 10 things that you cannot miss at Disneyland Resort during Halloween time. The first is obviously Haunted Mansion Holiday. Obviously. Step inside the Haunted Mansion as it transforms into a delightfully spooky mix of Halloween and Christmas inspired by The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love this version. It's not my favorite version. My favorite is the original Haunted Mansion, but there is something so fun about this overlay. Jack Skellington and his friends take over Haunted Mansion, and they deck the halls with eerie, festive cheer, I guess. There's two favorite things I want to tell you about. The first one is front and center. It is the gingerbread house on the huge dining room table. This is a real gingerbread house. They change it every single year, so it has a different theme. And it smells in that room like real gingerbread. So when you go in, take some deep breaths. You're going to be able to smell the gingerbread and admire this gingerbread house because it is real. Every part of it is edible, and they take hours and hours and hours to create it. My second favorite thing about Haunted Mansion Holiday is also in the ballroom. Now, not a lot of people know about this, but as you're going through the ballroom, kind of near the paintings as you're about to leave the ballroom, you'll see an open door. Now this is up high. It's like a balcony area, and there's a door, and curtains are usually covering it and you can't see what's inside. But during the holidays, the curtains are open and you can see back into this room that is a library, and there is a tree back there made out of books. When it's the original version, those curtains are closed, so you can't see through the doorway, but during the holiday version, they're open, so make sure you take a peek in there. Next thing I want to talk about is Oogie Boogie Bash. The Oogie Boogie Bash is my favorite after-hours event offered by Disneyland. It is so much fun. This is a separate ticketed event that takes place over in California Adventure Park on select nights. It's sold out for this year, but it is so much fun. So if you've never been and you're considering it for next year, I think you should do it. But you do need to get tickets as soon as they drop, which is usually late June, early July. So I will let you know as soon as we know information about that later next year. But if you're not going, consider it. If you are going, I'm so excited for you. You are going to have the very best time. So make sure you check out Villains Grove. It's incredible. Do not miss the parade because it's all Halloween themed. There's the Disney villains, the spooky floats, the headless horseman. It's so good. Plus, you've got the trick-or-treat trails, all the villains. I mean, it's so much fun. So you're going to have a great time. If you've never been, maybe add it to your list because it is so great. Number 3 is the Halloween Screams projections and fireworks show. Now, they don't do fireworks every single night, but they do the show every night with the projections. It's still worth it to see the show even if they aren't doing fireworks. The fireworks make it extra great, but if you happen to be there on a night that they're not doing fireworks, still go enjoy the show. It's amazing. It's hosted by Jack Skellington. It's all Halloween themed. There's eerie projections and fun Halloween music. Really, really great. It only lasts about 10 minutes, but it is so fun. It just kind of like seals the deal on your amazing Halloween vacation, if that even makes sense. So to get the best views, you could stake out a spot near Sleeping Beauty Castle, which I don't recommend because it's so crowded and you need to get there extra early. That's not my favorite place to watch. You can go along Main Street USA because you get a view of the fireworks. You'll have the castle in the distance, and then you'll have the projections that they put on the buildings of Main Street USA on both sides. I like that place if I am heading out as soon as fireworks end. I'll get kind of a spot farther back on Main Street, and then as soon as the fireworks are over, I can just turn around and head out of the parks without dealing with all the crowds. Because if you are heading out right after fireworks and you're up by the castle, or you're really anywhere else in the park, it's kind of a nightmare for about 30 minutes while everyone's rushing out of the parks. So if you're heading out right after fireworks, I like the view further back on Main Street. If you are not leaving, my very favorite place to watch Halloween Screams is near It's a Small World because it's less crowded and they put the projections up on the facade and it's a much bigger area for them to put projections on. So you see more projections and you see more than you do on the castle because the castle is more narrow. So you get to see more. The show is, essentially a little bit different because there's projections you see on Small World that you don't see at the castle. So I like it there because you can see more. You still get the fireworks even though they're off to the side a little bit, and you don't have to arrive as early. So there you go. Don't miss Halloween Screams. Another thing I love is Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark. So this is a separate version from the regular Guardians of the Galaxy. It switches over every afternoon at 3 p.m. So if you ride it before 3 p.m., it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, the original version. If you're riding after 3 p.m., it will be Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark. So there is a different story. So the idea is that right after Rocket rescued the Guardians of the Galaxy, they went to make their escape. This all happens in the original version. But then Groot got left behind, and that's where Monsters After Dark, the storyline, starts. So the idea is that Groot accidentally got left behind, but all the cages are open and the monsters have taken over the tower. So Rocket needs us humans to distract the monsters so that he can get Groot. So it's a different storyline. There's a different videos. There's a different song. It's really, really fun. Next is character meet and greets in their Halloween costumes. You have to see Mickey and his friends dressed up in their Halloween costumes. It is adorable. They're different every single year. You can find them over on Main Street USA, and they're just the cutest. There's always a little line to meet them, but it is worth it. They rotate around on Main Street USA, so there'll usually be 3 or 4 of the classic Mickey and Friends characters out at that time, and then they'll rotate around. So you can always get in line for one, and then they'll rotate around. So definitely check them out. They usually get to Main Street around 9 in the morning, and they will stay through the afternoon. But in the evening, once it gets dark, then they are not going to be out anymore. So if you do want to see them, I suggest seeing them earlier in the day so you can make sure you check that off your list because you never really know how long they're going to be around. Next is all the Halloween food and treats. Disneyland goes all out with the seasonal food and treats at Halloween time, and it is a delicious and important part of the experience of visiting Disneyland during Halloween time. There's so many yummy foods to try. Disneyland released their foodie guide over on the Disney Parks blog, and then I take this foodie guide and I type it all up and make it into a printable version so that you can print it out and take it to the parks, and you won't miss anything that you're wanting to try. Because when you read this foodie guide on the Disney Parks blog, there's going to be so many things that you want to eat, you're going to forget, you're going to miss something. So I have this foodie guide. I'll put a link down in the show description. Print it out and then sit down and look at the foodie guide, read all the descriptions on the Disney Parks website. Just Google Disney Parks blog Halloween foodie guide. It'll pop right up. And then on my foodie guide, I want you to highlight or circle all the things you want to try. Then you can take this printable to the parks and you'll be able to check things off as you go along. There's a couple churros that I'm excited to try. There's a sour apple churro with a caramel dipping sauce that sounds so good. There are all kinds of yummy things at Jolly Holiday Bakery that I'm excited about. There's a pumpkin macaron over there that it's like a Mickey jack-o'-lantern macaron. It looks adorable. I love pumpkin things, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. Plus, over in California Adventure Park at Smoke Jumpers Grill, they're bringing back one of my favorites. It is a sour apple lemonade, and it sounds weird, but it's so good. It has like a raspberry sauce in it and these cherry popping spheres, they call them. That's just cherry boba, but they're delicious. Mixed with the sour apple lemonade, the whole thing is so good, especially since it's usually so hot at the Disneyland Resort during Halloween time. That is one of my favorites. So I'm going to put a link to the foodie guide in the description. You can print that out and take it with you. Next up is Plaza De La Familia. This happens over at the Paradise Gardens Park in California Adventure, and it is so cute. It's a celebration of Dia de los Muertos inspired by Disney's Coco, and it's just such a fun area to be in. They've got colorful decorations, and usually they have live music and entertainment, and there's cultural displays honoring family and tradition. There's live performances of a musical celebration of Coco where they have dancers and musicians, and Coco's there and Mickey and Minnie. Well worth it watching that show. It happens several times a day, so you can check it out without waiting for a really long time. So that's really fun. They've got crafts for kids in that area. You can meet Miguel from Coco. Maybe my favorite part that just almost wrecks me every time I go is the memory wall. So they have these little pieces of paper that you can write on, and you can leave a remembrance of your loved ones, and then there's little clips and you can hang it on this wall. And there's just hundreds and hundreds of these memories of people's loved ones. I get choked up just thinking about it. Maybe don't go through and read them like I do, because it's going to wreck you. So, okay, we're moving on. But anyway, I love the memory wall. Back over at Disneyland, there is the Pumpkin Festival on Main Street that you do not want to miss. Obviously, front and center is the Mickey Jack-o'-lantern. He's ginormous. You can't miss him. You have to take your picture with him. And if you have the photo pass that comes with Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, then you can ask for a magic shot. And I got the cutest one a couple of years ago with the big cauldron. It's one of my favorite pictures ever. Definitely take a picture with the giant pumpkin and ask for a magic shot if you have PhotoPass. The pumpkin is different on both sides. One side he has a winking face and the other side is a smiley face. So maybe get a picture on both sides just for good measure. Scattered throughout Main Street on display are hundreds of carved jack-o'-lanterns, and each one is unique. So you need to check them out. Look at them all. They are really fun. So as you're walking down Main Street, just keep your eyes up so you can look at all those fun jack-o'-lanterns. Another thing we have to talk about is Radiator Screams over in Cars Land. Radiator Springs is transformed into Radiator Screams, and it is just full of spooky Halloween / Cars themed decorations, and the whole atmosphere is so festive and Halloween and just fun. Mater's Junkyard Jamboree and Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters have a special Halloween overlay. Mater's becomes Mater's Graveyard Jamboree, and it's got Halloween music that is kind of still Cars themed, really cute. And then Luigi's turns into Luigi's Honkin' Halloween, and it's the same thing. They've got some Halloween themed music that is also Cars themed that is really, really cute. So even though the attractions themselves aren't really different, the music is different, and it's just fun all around. Now, I prefer Cars Land after dark, especially when it's Radiator Screams, because it's just a whole different vibe that's really fun. The last thing we need to talk about is Halloween souvenirs and merchandise. Listen, Disney knows you're going to go and you're going to be all in the Halloween spirit and you're going to want something to remember your trip by. They don't want to turn you away empty-handed, so they are filling the parks with all kinds of Halloween-themed merchandise. They're going to have spirit jerseys and plushies, and they're going to have pins and bubble wands that are pumpkins and hats and everything you can think of. They're going to have it for Halloween time. I like to shop over at the Emporium on Main Street or the World of Disney over at Downtown Disney. I find that these have the very best selection. If there's something that you're looking for and they don't have it, then ask a cast member. Like if they don't have it in your size, ask a cast member to go check in the back. Oftentimes they have one in the back, or they can tell you a different place that you can go look, and maybe you can find what you're looking for in a different shop. Because really they have basically the same things throughout the Disneyland resort in California Adventure and Disneyland and Downtown Disney. So hopefully you can find what you're looking for. I know you're going to find something amazing that you want to take home. There are the Halloween popcorn buckets. There's the Halloween sippers. They also have Halloween glow cubes, and I'm never really tempted by any of those. Every once in a while there's a popcorn bucket that will tempt me, but they have a Halloween glow cube that looks like the llama poison that Yzma gives to, what's his name? The prince guy. You know who I'm talking about on The Emperor's New Groove. She gives to the Emperor. We'll just call him the Emperor. Cusco. Cusco, the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. How could I forget that? Yes, it's Cusco's poison. That's what the glow cube looks like, and it has a little llama on it, and that one is tempting me. I think I might get that because that would be fun to put on a shelf to display during Halloween time. Cusco's poison. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Now that I've gone through that in my brain, I've decided it's happening. I need that glow cube. So you're obviously going to be able to find something to take home. Just be prepared. Bring extra money because you're going to find amazing things that you just can't pass up. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was fun. Maybe get you in the Halloween spirit or a little early, even though, my goodness, it's only August. Can we get into the Halloween spirit in August? I don't know. I'm going to try to get there by September when I head there for hotel tours and to check out all the fun Halloween stuff and get my glow cube. All right, I will be back next week for Patreon members. I have an awesome Once Upon a Time deep dive episode that I have been working really hard on that I'm excited to share with you. For everyone else, I will be back in 2 weeks with something new. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk soon.